We need a pollster, and we've got one. His name is Mitchell Brown. He's a GOP pollster, joins us again today. All right, I read your stuff, Mitchell. You say that Trump is winning all but 3 demographic groups in this election compared to 2020. Okay, the 3 groups he needs to work on are, I believe, women, wealthy, and whites. Is that right? Those are the 3 groups that he's not ahead with?
Correct. And when I say winning, I mean winning in comparison to 2020. Okay. So Donald Trump will do better with the black vote than he did in 2020. He'll do better with the Hispanic vote than he did in 2020. He'll do better with the low-income vote than he did in 2020. And so I wanted to preface with that. And what I mean by him doing poorly with these 3 groups is traditionally, I mean, the Republican Party of the past, the country club Republicans, they were, again, whiter, higher income earners, and again, predominantly suburban women in that sense. And what we've seen now is the more income that you have as a household, the less likely you are to vote for Trump. When we're having a severe issue with women who are falling off from Trump. And so it's interesting to see that. And when we go through, if he only wins women by 4% or only wins the white vote by 5%, that could offset the gains that he's made in those other 2 communities. So this kind of, again, just talks about what's really changed between the 2 parties. Is now like this populist movement, Trump is going to split the union vote, which is a record for recent Republicans. It's an interesting shift.
But if he can't move up with women, wealthy, and whites, can he win?
Yes, he can. It's just about how do you kind of correct the downward turn there. You can win by less with those groups if you are overperforming in other areas. It's just you have to stop the bleeding at some point. You can't just completely turn off the suburban white woman vote.
Pollster Nate Silver, he says his gut tells him that Trump will win the election. All right, you're a GOP pollster. I presume that your gut tells you that Trump will win. Am I right?
So let's talk about gut instinct for pollsters. So again, polling isn't just a science, it is an art as well. And so what I mean by that is for you to accurately predict things, you do have to use a little bit of gut because turnout universes mean a lot when you're polling. So if you think there's going to be a low turnout or a high turnout in a certain county, that can really, really change the numbers. And when you're saying, okay, I think the female turnout's going to be higher, or I think the Hispanic vote will be higher in this area, that's where you're putting your gut in. And so when pollsters are saying that they're using their gut, it's about those things. So for me...
But what do you base your gut instinct on? That whether or not more Hispanics will turn out or not, that's up to your gut. What's that based on?
That's always based on data. I'm going to talk from a data perspective, and then what that data specifically means and could lead to is where I put my gut in. And so like when I make the predictions like I did last time with Trump winning, it's because I see the trend line in data, and then I use my gut to tell me this is where it's going.
Okay, is the trend still in Trump's favor?
Yes, the trend line is great. Like I mentioned, I'm no longer worried anywhere in the South. North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, good to go. Now, it's interesting to talk about the Rust Belt because if you look in 2016, Trump won all 3 of those states. Yeah. Obviously, Biden won all 3 of those swing states, being Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin in 2020. What I see here is that neither candidate would win all 3 of those. And again, that means Trump just taking one, he has the election won. I still believe that Wisconsin and Pennsylvania are the 2 most likely to fall for Trump. But if turnout is maximized and we see a repeat, it would be all 3 for Trump and 0 for Kamala.
12 days to go to the election. Mitch, we've got to have you back on the show at least 3 times in the next 12 days because you know what you're talking about. Mitch, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure. See you again soon.
Thanks for having me, Stu.
You got it.